Hi, this is Lucia with The Art of Love. I'm a dating and relationship expert specializing in helping you get your ex back. And welcome back, No Contact Army. Have you downloaded my new app, Silencio, in the App Store? Well, I'd like to thank everyone who has. Apparently, about 30% of the people who check out the app end up downloading it. That sounds like a really good percentage to me, so thank you. And if you too would like to join the No Contact Army, it's very simple. All you have to do is hit the subscribe button and the bell notification, and you're in. And to check out the No Contact Army manual, go to nocontactsecrets.com, where you can download 2 free chapters before purchasing the book. This week, I want to talk about how to get your ex back by texting. Now, those of you that have been listening to me for a while, when you saw that title, when you heard me say that, you're thinking, wait a minute. You said we're not supposed to text our ex. You're right. I did say that, and I still stand by that. However, there is a video that has millions of views that talks about getting your ex back by texting, and so I had to do the counter video to counteract the negative effects of people hearing that video and thinking it's okay to text their ex. So in terms of texting your ex, unless you cheated or you took your ex for granted, you're not supposed to be reaching out. So there's no text for you to send. You need to wait for your ex to contact you, and 90% of the time, they will. So for those of you who have to contact your ex, I will guide you along in the process. Now, in terms of texting, only text if you used to text before, meaning that if you've never texted before, it would be strange if all of a sudden you texted them, right? So whatever was your main method of communication before, use the same one now, whether it was a call or an email or, I don't know, whatever. Before you contact them, you have to be in a stable place mentally and emotionally. That's what no contact is for. You want your ex to calm down, and you need to calm down. So unless you are stable, do not, I repeat, do not attempt to contact your ex. So there's some basic rules, some guidelines. Number 1 is do not double, triple, or quadruple text, meaning if they don't answer the first time, it's because they don't want to. So leave them alone for now and try them again in a couple of weeks. That's if you cheated or took them for granted. And if you didn't do any of those things and you texted anyway, well, that's what you get for breaking no contact. That's why we don't break no contact, because they may not respond. That's one of the reasons. The second rule is texting about your interest level and your deep feelings for them. I've said it before and I'll say it again. People don't give a damn about your interest level most of the time. They only care about theirs. Don't believe me? Okay. Think of a time when someone had really high interest level in you. Did that make you want to have a high interest level in them? Probably not. Your interest level was where it was for whatever reason. And so someone having a high interest level in you does not automatically raise your interest. So why would you think that you communicating your interest level to them is going to raise their interest? It's not. Pouring your heart out to someone who is not that interested in you is counterproductive. It's not going to get them back, and you're going to feel foolish afterwards. So keep in mind, most of the time, whether you're trying to get an ex back or in dating, people don't give a damn about your interest level, so stop communicating it. That is one of the golden rules of dating. And then finally, no mean texts, trying to make them feel guilty or feel bad for whatever reason. You're going to regret it, and then you're going to have to text yet again to apologize most people are tough with their words, but they're not so tough with their actions. They're all bark and no bite. And it's supposed to be the other way around. Always be nice with your words. You show your toughness with your actions. That way, you never have to regret anything you said, and you never have to apologize for anything you said. So you're always nice with your words, but you show through your actions that you're not to be messed with. Okay? So, if you've already sent one or more of those types of texts, now you have to send a short apology with an excuse. And this excuse can be something like, I apologize for my previous text. I've been stressed out over several things going on, including this breakup. It won't happen again. Hope all is well. That's it. Short and sweet, and then get back in no contact. So as I said, if you cheated or took them for granted, then it's up to you to get them back. And so you obviously need to reach out after a certain amount of time. And that's really going to depend on circumstances and how angry or upset your ex is at having to break up with you. It's a minimum of 15 days for the first contact and a maximum of 30 days for first contact. And besides trying to reconnect, what you're also trying to do is to gauge their interest level by sending the text. If they don't respond, it means their interest level is not that high, they're not ready to talk to you, and if they're not ready to talk to you, then they are definitely not ready to get back together. So you just wait another 2 weeks and then you try again. Now, in terms of what to write in the message, you have to send a compelling message that they'll want to respond to. Basically, you have to make them an offer they can't refuse. So I can't tell you what to text because I don't know your ex. You do. You have to ask yourself, what could I say to them that would pique their interest to the point where they would absolutely have to respond? I know for myself that if someone were to say, hey, I just heard one of your favorite bands is in town, or they know of an item or an outfit that I've been looking for that I haven't been able to find, and they find it for me, I would probably respond to that. So you have to think about what your ex will respond to. So don't fall for these videos that give you pre-packaged messages. Most of the time, especially if your ex is a female, they're going to be able to see right through them. No one knows your ex and your relationship like you. So take as much time as you need to think about what you could say to them, and they would have no choice but to respond. Like I said, be like the Godfather and make them an offer that they can't refuse. So when they do respond, don't respond right away. They're going to be expecting you to. They're going to be expecting you to be desperate and trying to get them back. No. We play the long game here. And so if you don't respond back right away, they'll wonder, well, wait a minute. Where did he go? Where'd she go? I'm not saying wait a whole day, but I'm not saying also when they respond to respond 30 seconds later. The next tip is do not send dozens of text messages in one day. In this case, less is more. Don't inundate them with a bunch of messages when you've just started to reconnect again. You don't want to look desperate, don't want to look needy. They don't know if you're contacting them to get back together. They're going to assume it, so you have to put some doubt in their mind. The next tip is no long essay answer text messages. I mean, you shouldn't be doing that anyway, whether it's with an ex or not. If you have to answer something in an essay answer, then you need to pick up the phone and talk. That's not what texting is for. So you have to match their energy or take it up just one notch. So if they send one sentence, you don't send 5. You send 1 sentence or 2. The next tip is to keep the conversation focused on things that will interest your ex. Most people are so bad at communication, at conversations, they just talk about themselves and don't consider whether the other person is really interested in what they have to say. And in fact, someone I know had to break up with someone because the woman talked about anything and everything under the sun, and he was so bored. It's like, I can't take this anymore. So when you're having a conversation with someone, make sure you're discussing things that they are interested in. Otherwise, what's the point of having the conversation? So don't start bragging about yourself and how wonderful you've been doing, because that looks insecure. Absolutely under no circumstances are you to talk about the past. There will come a time for that, but it's definitely not now. So if they're having a positive interaction with you, they will most likely want to see you. So when you get to that point where you can gauge that they are interested, suggest a short meetup for coffee or tea. And don't make it sound like a date, but more as a quick catch-up. So you'll need to have an excuse, like you need their advice on something, or you're going to be in the area. Meeting up for coffee or tea is less pressure, since it means that you're not going to be together for hours and hours. So you could say something like, hey, I have a meeting in your neighborhood at 11:30. Do you want to meet for a quick coffee at 11? That way they know it's going to be a very short, quote-unquote, date. All right, so there you go. There are your tips for texting your ex if you have to. But as I've said, unless you cheated or took them for granted, you shouldn't be texting. So let me know below, have you ever texted your ex during no contact? How did it go, and what was the result? And if you would like my help to get your ex back, go to theartoflove.net. The direct link is below. If this video has been helpful, please like, subscribe, and share. If you're listening to a podcast, please rate and review. And finally, remember that love inspires, empowers, uplifts, and enlightens.